Neal, huge congratulations first of all, celebrating 2 years in charge of Notts County this week. What a better way to celebrate?
Yeah, we worked really hard on this performance all week. We showed Wealdstone real respect for the way they try and play. And I thought the energy and the tempo, it was as complete a performance as you're going to get, just more goals perhaps.
Yeah, I think was that the main frustration in the first half, that you didn't capitalise and get more of those goals?
Because as a manager at 2-0, you can just never quite get yourself comfortable with the one goal and the whole thing can change, and that was the bit we was concerned about more than anything, was that one goal and we might have been under a bit more pressure, and we got there in the end, but certainly we warranted a lot more goals than we scored.
Yeah, it looked like that it probably had to show both sides of your game tonight. The first was a dominant first half performance, and then the second half you had to be a bit more patient.
Yeah, we had to do, even in the first half, our work without the ball, second balls, pressing from the front, stopping and playing out was exceptional, and we had a game plan. We changed the shape, we worked hard at it all week, and we tried to put within that shape, real attacking threats in there, with that sort of front four, albeit in slightly different positions than people might have expected.
And let's start with the goals. Enzio Baldwin getting the ball rolling, of course, a well-taken goal from him.
I thought he'd missed it, because where I was, it looked like it had gone wide, and somehow it sort of went up in the air, and I thought he'd missed that as well, because their goalie had made, I think up until that point, he must have made about 8 saves before we scored, so I just thought it was another missed chance, and that was probably the most frustrating thing. But yeah, it was great. The tempo that we attacked at was good, and like we say, we looked like we could score most of the time in the first half we went forward.
And then Eli Sam, brilliant play down that left-hand side, and a great finish as well.
Yeah, he's really coming into his own. I said we'd need to be patient with him and Ruben, but they're really starting to flourish in training. And last week they come on, they made a huge difference in the game, and today they got the nod and were excellent.
And then that final goal right at the end, did it feel like it would ever come, or was it a case of just see it at 2-0 and just deal with it there?
To be fair, I'd given up hope by then that we'd score another, because we'd missed so many and cleared off the line. I just couldn't believe that we hadn't got the third. But it was excellent from Carl Wooten. We was lashing at a few finishes and trying to probably overplay in certain areas. But when that ball dropped and Carl Wooten just helped it across, that's really unselfish and great vision.
And as well, what can this performance, back-to-back wins as well, what can that do for the mood of the squad going forward?
Well, it's obviously lifted us. We feel a little bit better now, and to come back home, we always feel good when we come to Meadow Lane, and to come back home and put in a performance like that's great. But now we've got to go away from home, and we've got to have that same resilience that we had in the Chesterfield and Halifax games.
And very finally, bit of housekeeping. How's Carl Roberts? He missed out tonight. What's the latest with him?
Cal's not great at the moment, so it's a bit of an ongoing thing with Cal now, and we're sort of trying to work out and speak to specialists about how we attack it. It's not something that we believe we're going to do a bit more investigating. It's not something that can just be operated on, and it's not something that's just an injection, or it needs to be managed, it needs to be worked, and it could take some time. So that's a bit of a blow, because he's been in pain, the boy's a bit down, so hopefully we'll get some answers and we'll be able to move forward with Cal.